So how did this controversy begin? At first glance, it's clear. After Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Lakshadweep, that's when social media had a meltdown. But that's not the real reason. What's happening now is a symptom. The disease is Maldivian politics, especially the politics of President Mohamed Muizzu. Just look at his career. He supported the India Out campaign, he peddled anti-India propaganda, and he turned his supporters against New Delhi. So what else did he expect? It's easy to dismiss these ministers as loose cannons, but they're not. They represent a new kind of Maldivian politics, one where India is the big enemy. So the blame lies with President Muizzu as well. He may not have pressed the trigger, but he did everything else, from buying the explosives to marking the target. That's what he did. The question is why? And the answer is quite simple. It's politics. There are two ways to build a campaign. One is a positive spin. You can build a campaign for something. And the second is a negative spin. You can build a campaign against something. Muizzu and company chose the second path. They painted India as the meddling big brother, as a threat to Maldivian sovereignty, and it worked. Muizzu defeated Ibrahim Soli to win the presidency last year. So now his rhetoric has become policy. Take a look at all his moves since being elected. In late November, he visited West Asia. It was his first foreign visit as president. It was also a snub to India, because usually Maldivian leaders visit New Delhi first. Their first foreign visit is to New Delhi. But Muizzu decided against it, and today he's in China. Then in December, the Maldives skipped a key security meeting. It's called the Colombo Security Dialogue. All others were present. India, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, they all took part. Only one member skipped this event, and that is the Maldives. Later that month, Muizzu decided to scrap an agreement with India, the hydrography agreement. It allowed India to survey Maldivian waters, but Muizzu said no more. He won't renew it after June this year. And finally, the biggest snub, Muizzu has asked Indian soldiers to leave the island. Some 75 Indian troops are present in the Maldives. Their job is to operate Indian aircraft there. Muizzu doesn't like it. He told New Delhi to withdraw them. Now put together, what does all of this tell you? Muizzu clearly does not like India, but the question is, can he afford to do this? Can he afford to antagonize India? Again, let's look at some numbers. The India-Maldives trade is worth $500 million. It was just $173 million in 2014, so there is major improvement. India is the Maldives' third biggest trading partner. In tourism, India ranks number 1. More than 200,000 Indians visited the Maldives last year. That's almost 12% of all the tourists. Another factor is proximity. India is the Maldives' closest neighbor. The mainland is around 600 kilometers north of the Maldives. So New Delhi is also the first responder. Like in 1988, during the coup, India repelled mercenaries who tried to oust the president, 1988. Or in 2004, when the tsunami struck. Or in 2014, during the water crisis, a fire broke out at the Malay Water and Sewage Company. So Maldivians had no drinking water. They sent an SOS to New Delhi, and within 12 hours, Indian planes landed with water. 2 Indian ships arrived later. Put together, India delivered some 2,300 tons of water to the Maldives. So I come back to the same question. Can President Muizzu afford to antagonize India? The short answer is no. And don't get us wrong. If Muizzu wants Indian troops to leave, that's his call. That's a sovereign decision. But spewing anti-India propaganda is not strategy. It is not foreign policy. It exposes your true intentions. And who suffers for it? Not Muizzu in his presidential palace. Only the people of the Maldives will be hurt. Whether it's jobs or investments or tourism, they need India's participation. And Muizzu should realize that. It's one thing to campaign on India out. It's quite another to actually do it. And don't take our word for it. Muizzu can look at 2 of his fellow South Asian politicians, Mahinda Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka and KP Sharma Oli of Nepal. Both men cozied up to China. They also tried to limit their relations with India, and where did it get them? Out of office and out of favor. That's where they are. So President Muizzu needs to realize that. And to all our viewers in the Maldives, let me say this. I know the social media outrage has been scary, especially the boycott calls. But I could say that none of that is targeted at you. It's a message to the leadership of your country. Only the leaders, not the people. Indians and Maldivians have a lot in common, whether it's religion or language or ethnicity. And we are proud of that. These social media storms may not last, but that shared history will. It's something the leaders of the Maldives should remember.